Chapter 3 The Field Trip. Jerome Horowitz Elementary School was having its big annual field trip to Pequot Pizza Palace. All of the kids had brought their permission slips and were lined up to get on the bus. George and Harold could hardly wait to eat pizza and play video games all afternoon. "This is gonna rule," said George. "Yeah, if we ever get there," said Harold. "Hey," said George, "let's change the letters around on the school sign while we're waiting." "Good idea," said Harold. So George and Harold ran over to the sign and began their, thoughtfulness. Before long, the letters spelling out the words, "Pizza Palace field trips are today," were switched around to say, "Please don't fart in a diaper." Unfortunately, the boys didn't notice a dark, foreboding presence lurking nearby in the bushes. "Aha!" cried Mr. Krupp. "I caught you boys red-handed." "Uh-oh," said George. laughed Harold. This is just a little joke." "A joke!" yelled Mr. Krupp. "Do you boys think that's funny?" George and Harold thought for a moment. "Well, yeah," said George. "Don't you?" asked Harold. "No, I don't think it's funny," yelled Mr. Krupp. "I think it's rude and offensive." "That's why it's funny," said George. "Oh," said Mr. Krupp. "You boys like to laugh, huh? Well, here's a good one. You two are officially banned from the school field trip. Instead of eating pizza, you'll spend the afternoon cleaning up the teacher's lounge. Isn't that funny?" "No way," said Harold. "That's not funny at all," said George. "That's cruel and unusual punishment." "That's why it's funny," Mr. Krupp snarled. Chapter 4 Left Behind. Mr. Krupp marched George and Harold over to the janitor's closet. "You can use these supplies to clean the teacher's lounge," said Mr. Krupp. "I want it spotless by the time we get back." Mr. Krupp went back outside, climbed onto the school bus, and laughed loudly as the buses pulled away. The teachers all pointed at George and Harold and laughed too. "Rats," said Harold. "I thought we were going to have fun today." "We can still have fun," said George. "All we need is this ladder, that bag of powdered paste, and those big boxes of styrofoam wormy thingies." So George and Harold carried their supplies to the teacher's lounge and got down to business. At the sink, George pulled the sprayer nozzle, while Harold carefully taped the sprayer handle in the on position. Then the two boys put the nozzle back, making sure the sprayer head was pointed in the right direction. Next, George held the ladder steady while Harold climbed up to the ceiling fan. There, he began scooping generous amounts of powdered paste onto the tops of the fan blades. "Is this right?" asked Harold. "Yeah," said George. "Try to get most of it on the ends of the blades." "Got it," said Harold. George closed all the blinds while Harold adjusted the ceiling fan so it would turn on when the lights came on. Finally, the boys filled the refrigerator up with worm-shaped styrofoam packaging pellets. "This is going to be fun," said Harold. "Not for the teachers," laughed George. Chapter 5 The Fun Begins. An hour or so later, the buses returned to the school. All of the children got off, packed up their stuff, and got ready to go home. Mystified, the science teacher was on school bus duty. The rest of the teachers gathered around George and Harold and began teasing them. "You kids sure did miss a fun field trip," said Miserable. "The pizza was so delicious. Too bad you didn't get any." "I wanted to bring you back a pizza," said Mr. Meaner, But I ate it on the bus. He threw an empty pizza box at George and Harold's feet, and the teachers howled with laughter. Maybe you can lick the cheese off the box, Mr. Krupp roared. The teachers eventually got tired of taunting George and Harold, so they retreated to the teacher's lounge to relax. Hey, how come it's so dark in here? Asked Mr. Meaner as he flicked on the lights. The ceiling fan began rotating very slowly. Miserable went to the sink and turned on the faucet. Suddenly, the spray nozzle sprayed cold water all over her. "Oh!" she screamed. "Somebody turn the water off!" The other teachers sprang up and tried to help. They all got sprayed too. The ceiling fan was rotating faster now, and some of the powdered paste had begun flying off the fan blades. The teachers struggled with the faucet, pushing and shoving each other. Finally, somebody turned the water off, but not before everyone was thoroughly soaked. The ceiling fan was now spinning at full speed. All of the powder on the fan blades had been flung off, and it was now floating down onto the wet teachers. "Hey, what the?" cried Mr. Meaner. "What's all this sticky stuff?" yelled Miss Anthrope. By now, all of the teachers were covered in gooey, sticky paste. It didn't take a genius to know that George and Harold were behind all this. "Those brats better not have touched my diet soda!" Ms. Ribble shouted. She dashed to the refrigerator and swung the door open. Swish! Suddenly, thousands of tiny styrofoam pellets flew out into the room. The wind from the ceiling fan blew the pellets around and around. Naturally, they landed on the stickiest things in the room, the teachers. "Ah!" screamed the teachers. They ran out of the teachers' lounge, screaming and yelling. George and Harold saw what looked like a group of giant, evil snowmen heading straight toward them. "I've got a good idea," said George. "What?" asked Harold. "Run!" said George. Chapter 6. Bye-bye, Mr. Fide. The next day, George and Harold's science teacher, Mr. Fide, knocked on Mr. Krupp's door. "What do you want?" barked Mr. Krupp. I've come to resign," said Mr. Fide. I just can't take it anymore." "Now hold on, bub," said Mr. Krupp. "Being a teacher is hard work. You can't just quit your job when things aren't—" "You don't understand," said Mr. Fide. "I think I'm cracking up." "What do you mean?" asked Mr. Krupp. "Well," said Mr. Fide, "it all started a few months ago when I had this dream that I got eaten up by a talking toilet. Then I started hearing cats and dogs meowing and growling in the classroom. Then I imagined that the school got flooded with sticky green goop. And just yesterday I thought I saw a group of abominable snowmen chasing two boys down the hallway." "No, wait just a minute, Morty," said Mr. Krupp. "All of that can be explained." "And a few days ago," said Mr. Fide, "I thought I saw a big, fat, bald guy in his underwear fly out the window." "Holy cow," said Mr. Krupp. "You are crazy." So Mr. Fide handed in his resignation and left Jerome Horowitz Elementary School for the greener pastures of the Pequot Valley home for the reality challenged. "Now where am I going to find a new science teacher on such short notice?" said Mr. Krupp. "Where, oh where?" Chapter 7. Here, oh here. Remember that poopy pants guy I was telling you about back in Chapter 2? Well, things hadn't been going too well for him in the past several weeks. Professor Poopy Pants had come to America to share the Shrinky Pig 2000 and the Goosey Grow 4000 with the world. But nobody seemed to want to hear about his inventions. They were all too busy laughing at his silly name. Poor Poopypants had been laughed out of every major scientific institution in the U.S. He'd been giggled out of Georgetown, howled out of Harvard, yucked out of Yale, snickered out of Stanford, and chuckled out of Chattanooga State Technical Community College. Professor Poopypants was running out of money, and there was no place left for him to turn. Then, one day, the professor walked into a New York coffee shop and picked up a newspaper. And like a message from heaven, Poopypants found his answer on the front page. Midwestern Elementary School seeks science teacher. "That's it!" he cried. "I'll become an elementary school science teacher. I'll work really hard, and soon people will come to respect me and see what a genius I am. Then I can introduce my great inventions to the world." Poopypants was certain that the one place people wouldn't laugh at his name was at an elementary school. "Kids are so accepting and loving," he said. "You can always count on the sweetness and innocence of children." Chapter 8. The Sweetness and Innocence of Children. "Hello, boys and girls," said the professor a week later. "I'm going to be your new science teacher. My name is Professor Poopypants. All right, settle down, boys and girls. Yes, it's a funny name, I know. But let me explain how I got this name. Please, children, settle down. It's not that funny, let me assure you. Boys and girls! Boys and girls! Please stop laughing. All right, I'm going to count to 10. And when I'm done, I want all of you to quiet down so we can learn about the wonderful world of science. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9.5. Children, please stop laughing. I know you're all very far behind in your lessons, and we've got a lot of catching up to do. Boys and girls, stop it! I'm not going to tell you again. It's not funny. There's no reason at all for you to be laughing at my name. I'm sure we all have funny names if you think about it. Stop it right now! Okay, boys and girls, I'll just wait until you all settle down. I can wait. A week later, things hadn't gotten any better. Professor Poopypants was really beginning to get angry. How am I going to get through to these children? He asked himself. Hey, I've got it! I'll create a wonderful new invention.